a moment. So, welcome to the session where my SwingFit teachers are going to share with you their own experiences. And you can pop your questions in chat, and then hopefully, if they're happy to answer them, they can do so. So, when you become a SwingFit teacher, if you wish to become a SwingFit teacher, some of the advertising is done for you. Obviously, you can do as little or as much as you want. And this morning, I've got Chris and Ruth with me because they are passionate. They do a lot of extra marketing on their own as well. So, this is a page of all the teachers that I have, and people can look at them. Look at Chris, lovely jazz hands. Yeah. And there's me looking a little bit suspicious with big eyes there. So, Ruth looking very elegant. So, you can express your personality. You can take the photo yourself, or in our live training session, your photo is taken. So we have a little bit about Ruth, and we want to encourage ladies to get to know us. So here's Ruth talking about her hubby, son, daughter, dog, and she's a modern jive teacher, and she loves music. And I go like, oh, Ruth is interesting. I'll read a bit more about her. Okay, so then you can find out classes by the teachers. You can read more about them, and I will guide you as to how you write your biography. So I'm always encouraging teachers to talk about themselves. We've got to get used to that a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. So I'm going to add Chris to the spotlight. So, yay, Chris, welcome. Yeah, we have Paula, Anna, we have Wendy with us today, and then this recording will be sent to the other aspiring teachers who are not with us this morning, but they'll be listening in. So, first of all, Chris, tell us where your classes are and how many classes you've got.
My classes are in Stockton-on-Tees in Cleveland, or Teesside, depending on. We don't have a proper official county, so it's Teesside or Cleveland. And I have 3 classes at the moment. I have a Monday morning, a Wednesday evening, and a Friday morning.
Now, Chris, you set up your classes really quickly, and of course, there's no deadline, for any of our SwingFit teachers. But I think you broke the record. Can you describe to us when you joined and how soon you set up your classes?
Well, I think I had already got my venues before I started the training, before I did the training, which I think was October 20. Oh, that, yeah, yeah. So I already had my venues lined up, and I knew that once the training day had finished, I had to learn the choreography in a week.
Yes. Oh, I think it might be October 2019.
19, yes, that
We've
sounds
lost,
more like
we've
it.
lost the
Yes,
year,
yes,
haven't we?
yes. Oh, yes, yes. So, yes, I set myself that challenge. And the reason I could do that is because the choreography is very simple and easy to learn. I have other formats under my belt, and their choreography is more complicated, and I couldn't possibly have set myself that challenge then. But it's so easy to learn that, yes, I did it, and I had to because I had classes starting. I hadn't quite had I. It's difficult. I hadn't quite advertised, I don't think, because obviously I needed to know whether I was going to pass or whether I was going to complete the course. But yeah, it was a quick turnaround.
Yeah. So those of you who are listening, do jot down your questions, and then you can ask at the end. So, Chris, I'm interested in your dance background. We kind of met at Modern Jive, or rather, I think I danced with Chris's husband at Modern Jive many years ago. And how much swing dance, Lindy Hop, or Charleston experience did you have prior to joining SwingFit Teachers?
None of that particular genre. Modern jive, yes, I'd done that as a participant for quite some time, but really the other styles, unless it was within that, no, nothing.
Hmm. So you picked it up very quickly, partly
Mm.
because Chris is an organized person, I have to say. She's very organized. She's great at time management and task management. She's a good planner, so that's on her side. And she knows she has the discipline to just get on and practice. You are a busy person, Chris. How did you manage to know how to plan your time, or is it something you've always done? How much time did you set aside to do your SwingFit homework, as it were, whether it's learning choreography or anything?
I don't have a pattern as such. I think it's on a need to do basis. Um, when it came to having to learn all the choreography at once, I just had to focus. I had to give myself the time I needed. Now that I've got them under my belt and we're learning a few at a time, I sort of think, well, it's coming to the end of the month. I want to change my playlist for next month. I need to have a look and see what I'm going to put in, refresh myself on the ones I haven't done for a while, learn the new ones I'm going to put in. Um, I think it's different for everyone, and it depends on what you need to plan for. But um, it's not too difficult and it's enjoyable. I think
Mm,
that's the thing. It's not
yeah,
it's not a task. It's not a hard
yeah,
task. It's an enjoyable thing to do. So you don't want to put it off. You don't want to think, oh, I'll do that later. It's something you can just get
yeah.
on with.
If I remember rightly, you haven't even been to a normal SwingFit class, did you?
No, I
I'm
don't
sure
think I had. I
it
think
was Chris being
you'd allowed me to join the SwingFit Sisters
Mm,
group just
mm,
to see what was going on.
yeah,
Um, but and I was going to go in a different direction regarding a class, but having done the training and seen what was involved in it, I decided to go in this direction
yeah.
and not look back really.
Yeah, great. Well, we have a question from Anna. She says, "Have you done dance or fitness instruction before? And if you've done those, why are you choosing to include SwingFit as well?"
Well, I do have an exercise qualification. I did my exercise to music about 20 or so years ago, and I was doing aerobics, then later Zumba, and also clubbercise as a sideline. I was working as a full-time primary school teacher at the time, so it was a hobby. I've since retired and knew that I needed to have something to supplement my teacher's pension. And like I say, I was going to go down the Zumba Gold route, and that was my plan. I'd done the license in preparation, then came across SwingFit and just found it was something different,
Mm,
particularly as it's not in our area. It was something I enjoyed doing. It was something easy to pick up for me and easy to teach for the ladies to follow as well.
yeah,
I'm not sure whether I've answered all of that question
yeah,
there.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've already done Zumba, done club size, so you already had a following. Yeah.
Well, I had, I think it's a different set of people because these are now, my classes before were evening classes because I was working, and these classes are daytime classes.
Or SwingFit are daytime classes.
Yes,
Mm,
yes. So I've had to get a different group of people involved.
yes. Brilliant. Well, that's what new aspiring teachers want to hear. How did how did you get new participants? You had your venues lined up. What about the participants? How did you get them?
Advertise on Facebook, just put it out onto Facebook. In the past, when I've had classes to advertise, when Facebook wasn't available or wasn't something that we all were familiar with, then you had to sort of put posters around and that kind of thing. I think I just flooded Facebook. My own page, invited all of my friends, although it was difficult because they worked during the day. So I knew that they particularly wouldn't be able to come, but they might know somebody else who could come.
Hmm.
Um, and I tend to use a lot of the local advertising groups. Or we have in Stockton, we have one called Stockton always something going on in Stockton, and it advertises things that are happening. There's one more specific to the area where my class is,
Hmm.
and they're keen to put it on. I think it's just getting it out there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was quite pleased with the amount of people who were interested quite quickly in the
So
class.
yeah, as you all can hear, Chris is very proactive. All right, she's full of action, which I love. Basically, if you don't take action, nothing happens. All right, so I can give you the knowledge, I can give you the skills, you can learn stuff, and then you need to take action. The thing about Facebook is free, so the worst that can happen, nobody sees your post, nobody comes, but it doesn't cost you anything. So one of the things we do is we learn about Facebook advertising. We discuss it amongst the sisters. But in the end, the reason Chris is successful, one of the reasons is she takes action. She takes the next step. So that's, you're a great example to keep us all motivated, Chris. Really, you are. So my next question for Chris will be, when you first joined SwingFit, did you have any worries or reservations, maybe about SwingFit or just maybe about yet another dance program in general?
Think of anything specific. Having sort of set my own classes up previously, I had that sort of knowledge to work with. So I kind of had an advantage on what, how to approach venues, what to look for in a venue, what kind of price is acceptable for a venue to charge. So that wasn't so bad. I think delivering the actual SwingFit program wasn't an issue because I knew it was ideal for the ladies I was looking for. I knew they would love it, and even now, some people can just hear the music and they'll just say how much they love the music. I think any sort of possible things that I wasn't sure about, we have the support of Julie. You get a lot of coverage in the training, and we've had a lot of support since that. So if we've had any questions or anything that we're not sure about, we can ask Julie, or we can share on our SwingFit Sisters page as well. So if you have any issues at all, someone else might have had it or might be able to give an answer or a suggestion. So anything like that can be easily overcome.
Yeah, we're not alone. That's the main thing. One of the
Mm-hmm.
things I've been teaching this weekend is you've got to decide how much of it you want to do yourself and how much of it you want to get help with. And I kind of compared it with DIY. I don't want to do it myself for sure. So you've got to decide how much of it you want to do and how much you want to get help with. So we know you are very organized. We know you're good with planning. I know you're good with time management. What would you say are the areas you're maybe not so good at when you first joined? Because all of us are different in the SwingFit Sisters group. So where one of us isn't so good, we help, someone else will help you. So one of us may not be so good with social media, somebody else will help in a group. Somebody may be very good about technology like Angeline, and she's been helping. So what would you say would be your personal areas of challenge?
Well, I had thought I was quite good at putting together posters for advertising. I did a lot of that kind of thing in my job, but I only ever used Word and Publisher and that kind of thing. So SwingFit and the sisters introduced me to Canva, which is the program that now I am absolutely
Adult.
amazed
And
about.
it's free. And
Absolutely.
it's
And
free.
I must, at first, when you told us about it, Julie, I looked at it and I thought, oh no, I'm happy with what I've got. But as you dip your toe into it and you can see what you can do and the graphics and the images and things. So that's something I have certainly learned from Ruth with her videos and how she's sort of helped us get better with creating videos and that kind of thing. So yeah, my some of my technology skills, which I thought were okay, have been massively improved.
Well, if ever you want to, you need to go and look at Swing Fit with Chris. So I'll show you her page. She's a good one of the good ways to learn is not to figure things out yourself. We're very pleased to share. And I'm going to share a screen with you. So all our teachers have a name for their group. So for Chris, it's called Swing Fit with Chris. With Ruth, it's called Swing Fit with Ruth. So we got Swing Fit with Chris. Yeah, we've got her lovely jazz hands there again. And then you can just see what Chris posts. Look at her whiz. Look at her designs. All right, so she's got all the right colors for Swing Fit. She's talking about brightening the day. She tells people what time the classes are on, and she puts it on regularly. Okay, she puts it on regularly. So that is really it's a learning thing, and you didn't mind learning. And I have to say, with Chris, even if there's a routine she hasn't quite tuned into yet, she often say, "I'm not quite tuned into this particular routine, but I'll just leave it." And then at the later day, she goes, "Actually, I've had another look."
Yeah.
So one of the great things about you, Chris, is you remain open, even if you
Mm,
think you've got an answer already.
mm,
So
mm.
that's absolutely Fantastic. Right, before we finish with Chris's session, if anyone's got any final questions, this is your chance to pop it in the chat box. It's nice to speak with real life teachers because, of course, I'll say is great. So Wendy says, how many usually in your classes, and what is the main demographic of your participants? So you can talk
Mm,
about pre-COVID, COVID,
mm,
and
mm.
but let's start with the demographic.
Well, I have mainly, I think, like you have our ideal client, that is the older lady who's retired and looking for things to do to keep herself active. I definitely have that. A lot of those ladies. I do have some younger people um, who sort of fit that criteria, but not exactly. So yeah, it's pretty much like you say, Julie, the older lady, the retired lady, the ladies who are perhaps, I've got a lot of ladies who are already doing line dancing, and they've sort of have an influx of them. They seem to be telling each other about it, and that's just a natural way of getting people. So it's often people who are already doing something and want to do something else or something different. But then I have just had a lady call me whose husband died a year ago, and she wants to get out of the house. I mean, she says she's already active, but she's looking for something else to get her out of the house. So it's people who want to meet each other, meet new people. And it's ideal for that because, like I said to her, our ladies are so welcoming, so lovely. And really, no one is left to feel awkward about coming into a class.
Mm,
So it's mainly, the demographic is mainly the ideal client.
yeah. And I'm very proud that Ruth and Chris have both looked after their ladies throughout the pandemic. They haven't abandoned them and thought, right, classes are closed, just forget about this. They've kept their ladies going. So, in terms of your numbers, how many do you get usually average in your class pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID, I have to think back because I actually had 5 weeks in New Zealand just before COVID, and luckily one of the SwingFit sisters covered my classes, so that kept them going. So I think I would probably on my Monday class there was about 20. Um, Classes were different places and different times, and I've had to change venues because of COVID. I would say 20 was probably a good class. Um,
Yeah.
Now and over COVID, we started off with a lot of members, and then as the people got used to COVID and found other things to do, the Zoom classes got quite low actually. Just before going back on the 17th of May, I was only getting 5 or 6 people to each class, sort of the ladies who were really have kept with me all the way through. Since going back, it's just gone crazy.
Mm.
I As soon as I started to say we were going back, I was having people come in to say, "Can we come? Can we come?" Now my Monday class now I have to restrict numbers because of the size of the venue. So whereas I probably could have got 20, 25 in
Yeah.
before, I'm having to max it at 16, but I'm getting that on a
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
My Wednesday venue has changed. It's now a huge sports hall, which was never going to be an ideal venue pre-COVID because it was too big. But now it's brilliant because it's so big and I'm getting sort of 19, 20 in that one. But Friday, for some reason, 7.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's.
Surprised you said how adaptable Chris is. You know, the pandemic came, she adapted it, she looked after her ladies, taking them for walks, chatting to them, helping them to get on Zoom. So well done to you, Chris, for being super adaptable and staying strong, staying strong. Yeah. So Wendy, I could see that I will ask, oh yes, Paula, I'll ask the question about social media with Ruth in a moment. I'll cover all your questions. So thank you very much, Chris. So everybody, I think Chris is a great example, and I thoroughly encourage you to follow her page, Swing Fit with Chris, and her beautiful designs, her beautiful designs. So thank you very, very much. And
Thank
I'm
you.
going to invite, I'm going to unspotlight. Should we give her a clap? Should we do the reaction thing? Let's have a look. Da, da, da. I shall unspotlight, and then I'll show spotlight. Ruth! Yay. There we go. Welcome to Ruth. Welcome to Ruth. Yay. Applause. All hearts all round. Feel good factor. Feel good factor. So, this is our bubbly Ruth, and we've been talking about you yesterday. I hope your ears were burning yesterday.
Oh, thanks.
Burning. Yeah. We're just talking about our own unique personalities, how even though we're all SwingFit teachers, we still have our own uniqueness. To me, Chris, her uniqueness is strength. She's fit and she takes action. And to me, Ruth, you're bubbly, cheerful, caring. It's fantastic. And tell us some of the things that you've done to keep your ladies going during the pandemic.
Well, after seeing some of one of the other SwingFit teachers, she was doing baking with the ladies. I was like, oh, I like baking. I know some of my ladies like baking. Let's do baking. Let's replicate this. So we did a bit of baking, and that went down okay. And then we came out of the first lockdown, and obviously we went back into the halls for a short time, and then we went back into lockdown again. And I was like, well, what can I do? How can I keep mine kind of motivated and engaged maybe once a month? Because pre-COVID I do socials. It's a real big part of what we do. And I was like, well, how can we replicate that? So at Christmas time, we did a Christmas party online, and I devised a online bingo and a quiz, which was yay, fantastic. But then I kept it going every month. So I then consequently did bingo and quiz every month on a Sunday afternoon, and they absolutely loved it, and I loved it too. It was great. So that kept them, the ones that wanted to join in, kept them motivated, kept our little SwingFit community, all together until we came out of COVID as well. And then consequently as well, after every class, offering if anybody wanted to stay behind for a chat, grab a cuppa. My lot don't go and put the kettle on because they're hot. So they get the water bottle and we just sit and have a chat. And that's always was open for the ladies as well after each class. So that's how I've kind of been able to keep them connected with each other. So and it's worked really well. And on a personal note, for me, I enjoy it. I really did enjoy the socials on a Sunday afternoon because we have such a laugh.
Hmm.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It can be pretty grim out there, and when everybody's in lockdown, and people can't go very far, and just to have even if it is on a computer screen, to have a good old laugh and giggle, even if it is at the expense of me, which it was quite a few times. It was good fun. It was really
Yeah.
good fun.
And well done to Ruth, because rather than worrying about her numbers dwindling and thinking about her own pocket, she was just focusing on the needs of her ideal clients because she knows her clients well. They've become long-term friends now. So what she did really, she turned new dancers into long-term clients. You need to think about the long-term value. Long-term value. It's a kind of business term, LTV, long-term value. You don't think about just that one time they pay you the £6. It's how long you keep them as clients. And if you look after them and if you love being with them, then you wouldn't be thinking about the fear of dwindling numbers because you will go through highs and lows. And if you believe that you're providing something they need, they'll be there. Just like Chris saying, once she reopened her classes, there was lots of inquiries again. So Anna wants to know, do you do other types of dance fitness, and why did you choose SwingFit?
I don't teach any other fitness. I'm a modern jive teacher, which due to COVID, that's been put on hold and
No
still on
partner.
hold for
Yes,
a
no,
little while.
no hand holding, no partnership with the.
No, honey, no, let's not get close. No, absolutely not. But I've been a modern jive teacher for 7 years. So kind of that helps with learning the routines because I kind of pick up the choreography really easily. Fitness wise, I've never taught anything fitness at all.
And now you
So
have a multitude of leggings.
yeah. Oh yes, I do. I have lots of lovely leggings which are very bright and colourful that matches me, and I like that.
Yeah.
So, and what was the other one? Did I have any other? I
And
had
why
one.
did you choose SwingFit?
I chose SwingFit. I was kind of intrigued to start with. What was it all about? Because I'd heard from my mother-in-law who had been going to Julie's classes, um, and I'd came to a point in my life. It was like a bit of a crossroads where I needed something because I was doing a home-based business, and I was teaching modern jive, and I was the home-based business that was dwindling off, and I knew that I could dance, and I know that I can teach, and I was ready for maybe something else, and I saw this and I was intrigued, found out more, and it just seemed to tick all the boxes personally for me. I can fit it in my working life because I've got two kids that are at secondary school. I have lots of other commitments. My son swims competitively, so we get up early. I trains a lot, so I had to find something that one I was interested in, that I like to do, that would fit me and my personality. And SwingFit seemed to tick all of those boxes. So it was once I'd found out, I'd gone to a class, and thought, yep, I'm going to do the training, and then it just rolled forward from there. And I have never looked back.
Well, it's brilliant that how you love the brand and how, when we get together, we're like school teachers, having a little exchange of stories about our participants and things that make us laugh. What do you do when your class doesn't dance to rhythm? You have to put your blinkers on. So we share stories, and I show them the picture of last week when that was the first time we could get together. So one of the things I want Ruth to share with us, this is just a whistle-stop tour. They're not getting the full training today. Whistle-stop tour of how you engage with your participants regarding the customer journey. How do you look after them from the first inquiry and not let them? So people worry about numbers dwindling, and often when we lose that personal connection, they don't come back. So what is it that you do? In terms of keeping them coming? That's my main question. So a whistle stop tour.
Whistle stop tour. So the whistle, it started. I did some online training during COVID last year. Previous to that, I didn't really know that much about it, but with the prompt of Julie saying you can do this, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a go. I've learned so much, and the thing that's helped me a lot is to understand my customers more. So the initial steps that they take from first thinking about coming along to actually walking through the door of my class, and it's kind of looking at their journey of how they get from A to B, and all the times that I can make contact with them. So obviously, it's the first one is they've maybe seen something on social media, or maybe they've heard something from a friend or a relative. So if it's social media, it's going back to the everything about keeping things on brand, keeping joyful, happy pictures, all the stuff that goes with what Julie's probably talked about before. So that's like the first engagement, and then that's the second one's the initial contact with me. So if they message me via telephone, I'll always contact them through phone or text. If it's messenger, I'll do it through there. If it's email, so however they contact me, that's what we converse, because that's obviously their preferred method. Great. Then after that, I've kind of got a ticky box chart of how I maintain contact with them. So I've got like a nice email or a message saying thank you very much for contacting me, a little bit about the class, and then they'll respond back to me, and then that triggers off I send them some more information about the venue and a little bit more about the class, so it can alleviate their anxieties about coming along, and if they have any questions. And then I, obviously check that they've got it. Have they got any questions? Then I say maybe about 4 days before they come to the class, I'll try and do a video message, which I found that I just take a little video on my phone And if it's on Messenger, I just send it off. And it's literally 30 seconds. Hi, I'm Ruth. And then they can see who I am. And I can send them off via email as well, because I just put them on Google Drive and they just attach the link. And then a day before, I'll send them another quick text or a message, and then they come to the class. I know their name. Hopefully, that when in the conversations that we've had previously, I always try to ask them if they've done any dancing before, so we've got that kind of immediate connection of if they have they danced, what have they done previously, have they done ballet when they were a child, what kind of music do you like, is this, so you've got that, you're trying to get to know them even before they've stepped through the door. So they've alleviated the anxieties because I've asked questions or I've given them lots of information. They tend to ask me about what do I wear? What shall I wear on my feet? How long is the class on for? Can I take a break? And all of those are all answered either from myself or they're all in the information that I send out to them. They come along to the class. I know their name. I try to I always do, introduce them to another lady who I've got key ones that I know I can just introduce them and they'll chat if I need to go and sort something else out, like the music or whatever. So then they've been introduced and then they've got an instant kind of conversation with someone who's already there. And then we do the class, and then afterwards I'll personally go and speak to them. And how was their experience? Great, brilliant. I'll contact you within 24 hours. Well, no, I never say 24 hours, but I'll drop you a line and see how you're doing. So 24 hours, I'll give them a text or a message. If they don't message back, that's fine, no problem. And I'll do it again after about 4 days' time. And just to keep that connection. And sometimes, not always you get the return of some ladies, because at the end of the day, sometimes it's just not for them. And that's fine, because if it's not for them, then that's not your ideal client. But the ones that do come back, through doing this message, just over the past couple of months that we've been allowed back into the halls again, I've had such positive feedback. I've had some ladies say that they've never had that much kind of attention to detail of coming to a class from anybody. They've never, it was very professional. They've never received that kind of contact from somebody before, and they were very impressed with all of that, which is great, because I think now, knowing about this, I just want to give them the best possible experience that I can give them. So that's their kind of journey. And then to kind of keep them, once we've kind of got them through the door and they do enjoy the classes, it's maintaining that, trying to get to, you can't always speak to all of them. And they do start to talk to each other, which is great. But I greet them all. I know all of their names. And the big thing is the socials, which, hooray, I've just started up last week with one of my groups. And once a month, last Thursday, I started my first one. We went to a coffee shop after the class, and we had 2 separate tables because we can only meet in groups of 6. But we all had a coffee, and some had a cake, and it was brilliant, and they loved it. And they all got to know each other's names, and it's that kind of cements what you do, because it's not just a dance class. It's never been just a dance class. It's a little community. It's friendship. And you get the plus points of exercise and, them feeling really good about themselves. So the things that I've learned are the journey that gets them there, but also the attention to detail and the customer experience, being, trying to provide them the best that I can possibly do. So that's what I've learned a lot. I thought, we just dance. We can just dance, just do a dance class. And it's more, and that's what keeps them engaged.
It can just be a dance class. So I call them sisters, because it's a good alliteration, SwingFit sisters. So all our sisters can choose what level they want to be at. So to me, Ruth is an advanced level SwingFit teacher. She's prepared to put in the extra work to give her mini business that professional polish. But if you are brand new to this, and if listening to all this is too much, just take a step at a time. Ruth didn't know about all this the first few months that she joined,
Yeah.
but we made COVID into as positive an experience as possible. So when the pandemic, the lockdown first came, I said to all the sisters, let's get learning. Power is in our knowledge and our skills. So Ruth has taken her professional skills to yet another level, which means when better times come, she's going to be she's going to have superpowers. She's going to be have superpowers with all this, with all this knowledge. Yes, it can be a simple class with 7 people if you want it to be. And if Ruth has a big venue and she thinks, I have this knowledge, I have all this experience behind me now, I know the techniques for marketing, why shouldn't I take it to another level and have an exciting big class? So always go with your own heart's desire. Don't go for a big class if it's not for you. Don't go to the trouble of doing all this customer journey if it's not for you. But the knowledge is there. We share with each other, and Ruth has also shared this generously with her SwingFit sisters. We don't hold knowledge back, do we? We just share with each other. And one of our sisters later who's coming, Angeline, she's very good with technology, and she generously led a session on Zoom. So all of us have different challenges, all of us have different skills, but the sharing and the support is what keeps us, we believe is what keeps us going. So I have one more question in the chat box that I haven't yet answered, which is, does your client group report any concerns using social media?
Would that be for them to be on social media or kind of accessing on social media? Yeah. So if I'm doing any videos or photos of the ladies, I always ask them beforehand and just say, if you don't want to be in the photos, just put your hands over your face or let me know and I'll blur you out. And they're also, I had a lady on Thursday and said, I don't want to be in it. And so that's fine. I said, I'm really good at video editing and I've just put a blur over her face and she's fine. But that's in a class I had 11 on Thursday, and that was one lady. And the way that I kind of word it is, it's just to make little videos or a little photo to spread the word and just to let others know how what a good time that we're having and to encourage more ladies to maybe to come along.
Yeah, and I always say to them, give them a reason why you're doing this. Just say, I'm doing this so that it shows how friendly and normal we are and unprecious. So they're very keen. They're very keen to do that. So while we have some more questions coming, Ruth, could you tell us pre-COVID, how many classes and how many ladies did you have?
Pre-COVID, I had two classes. I think I only had two. And I had, just before we went into lockdown, I think I had the most in one of my, I think I had 24. And my other venue, I think I was averaging about 14 to 16. That particular one, I had a huge launch. I couldn't get them in the room. It was because I had a very small venue. But once again, it depleted, and then we had Christmas, and it was up and down, and then it was COVID. So it was just one of those. It happened, so you kind of deal with it. Through lockdown, I had 3 Zoom classes. Some were busier than others. I think the most I ever got was about 30. But once again, it was during COVID. It was about giving the ladies the structure of what I'd had previously, and to give me structure as well, because otherwise I wouldn't have, there wouldn't have been not necessarily purpose to my day, but it gave me, a purpose as well. Not just being mum, but I had a job to do as well. After COVID, or if we're still in COVID, but currently I have 3 classes now, and my Monday morning with the big hall, I average between about 20 to 25. My Tuesday class are my ones that have gone all the way through, so they average between 14 and 16, and I can't really get any more than 16 in. I could, but I don't. And my Thursday class, which is my brand new little nurturing baby, which I started, I ran it for 1 month in October, and then it just COVID hit again. So I've just started it last month, and our numbers are small, but we're growing. And last week, we had 11. So that was really good. It was, and once again, it's just people are filtering in through friends. I've got some ladies who attend 2 classes a week, and it's just, I know that it will grow. I have every confidence that I've just got to keep doing what I'm doing, and I know it will grow. So it's just having that patience, because I feel like it's very much like my first ever class, and now they are regular, and it feels good. Feels good.
Yeah, fantastic, because it's about sticking with the method and not every 5 minutes wondering. It's like going to the gym. You can't like every 5 minutes go like, okay, no, not yet. All right, no, Or some of my Lindy Hop dances, every 5 minutes going like, I can't get this step. I go, follow the method, keep practicing, and then you naturally be able to dance in a month's time. Not immediately, but maybe in a month's time. You can see how cheerful and how positive and how joyfully bubbly Ruth is. It keeps her going, having a positive mindset, and her positive mindset keeps her ladies going. It's absolutely fantastic. What would you say would be your challenge? Earlier, we talked about Chris. She's really good at being proactive, being good at time and organizing, but the side that she wasn't so good at, or she thought she needed more help with, was design. What would you say was your challenge in terms of your skills?
Yeah, the challenge was probably the getting to know and understanding social media more, because it's a powerful tool, and even if you have a little bit of knowledge, it can go a long way, and not necessarily resistant, but can I learn this? Can I understand it? And I don't understand a massive amount, but I understand enough now, and I think that was a challenge, trying to just to do it, and it can
Yeah,
work for you.
and
The
yeah,
routine, that was an all
the-
right thing for. I can
yeah,
pretty much pick up
yeah,
the choreography and the communication side of it with my ladies. That's all fine. But it was time management, because I sometimes don't have enough time, is to make sure that I put some time aside every week, which I don't think I've ever done before. I think with my other teaching, if I'm, for instance, teaching on a Wednesday night, I'll sit down on a Wednesday afternoon and put together a routine that I'm going to teach. It's fresh in my brain. Nothing can go wrong. It'll be fine. But this, no, I know that, because I have like attendance sheets and like payments, where all the payments from the ladies are coming from, and I've had to make time to do that now. So organising my time probably more effectively, where I do sit down and do, it's usually on a Sunday,
mhm,
and figure out what I'm going to do for my kind of social media this week, any ideas, and all my like kind of the timesheets and the spreadsheets and stuff. I just do that and make sure that I've got. So
mhm.
it was like, can I do this? Have I got the time? And yes, I do have the time. I just had to make sure that I've
Yeah,
make time for myself to
yeah.
do.
Carve out time, because that time could be used for something more important, but you choose to commit to SwingFit. You commit to being a good teacher, so you carve out time, which is absolutely brilliant. Just want to take a quick look at Ruth's page. It's incredible. It's SwingFit with Ruth, and it's very engaging. She takes videos of the class dancing, so then ladies of the same age will think, oh, it's okay. People often worry they're the oldest one in the class or something, and they can see that we're not dancers that spin on our head or do splits. They know that we're just dancing for fun. And Ruth always replies, when somebody says, really enjoy the class, as always. And she replies, everyone has a little joke together. thanks to all my Belmont ladies. She gives positive vibes by by engaging with them. And then one of the ladies called Jill, she's very pleased to be featured. So it makes her feel empowered, doesn't it? Um, so then Ruth will write some comments about it. Then this is her design skill that she uses, and I can show you that later. Always post her testimonials, post testimonials and a few pictures of people looking happy. So she's keeping to the colors. That's what Ruth means by being on brand, so that people recognize that you are part of that group. Okay, so if you're part of EasyJet, you can't use pink, right? You've got to like the orange that they use. So always, this is like her shop front. Her page is her shop front. When somebody walks past your shop, they may not necessarily buy from you that moment. They're just walking past. They're just browsing. And at the time later on, when they decide, oh, yeah, I'm ready to buy, they know who to buy from. So well done to Ruth, and thank you very much for giving me your Sunday lunchtime to help us get a view of your own SwingFit journey. So I'm going to carry on with the rest of our ladies here, and thank you, Ruth. Enjoy the rest of your time. Hopefully, you get a nice. Are you making Sunday lunch for your family, or is it going to be put on the table for you?
Oh, that's the husband's job today. He
Yay!
does a better Sunday dinner than me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've got bits and pieces to do today. I'm carving out that little hour or so later on.
Yeah.
And all is good on a Sunday. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a good day.
Thanks, Ruth.
Bye.
Bye. Well, hopefully that was helpful for everybody to hear a little bit of what they have to say. So far our sessions has been about you learning some stuff, and then me showing you, me receiving questions from you, and hopefully that's been really helpful. We have a few minutes left to this session, and I'll start to answer some of your questions from earlier. So some of you are asking about marketing and branding and flyer design. So in the SwingFit membership, you get the flyers designed for you with a little space left for you to add your own name and your own details in. So then you don't have to design it from scratch. And then you can see the sisters come in and help each other. So those who know more about social media will help the ones that don't know so much. So what you want to do is turn the first timers into long-term customers. The way Ruth is looking after her ladies means that she wouldn't get dwindling numbers. The only time we got dwindling numbers is during COVID, but they're all coming back now, which is absolutely fantastic. So as part of your SwingFit package, you get two. One option is the silver membership, which is £47 a month. Or if you want to have some one-to-one private lesson mentoring from me and to fast track what you're doing, it's called the gold membership, and that one is £75 a month. And you can also look to see how you get your return on investment very quickly. So SwingFit isn't for everybody. We have the ethos of connection, community, and collaboration. So if it's something that's right for you, we can certainly talk about how I can help you. But there's a lot of resources that can help you on an ongoing basis so that you're learning it gradually. So now I'm going to take a look at some of your questions, and then after lunch, I'll continue to answer them. I'll answer the booking system first because it's an easy one to answer for you. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, thanks for saying thank you. I really like that. It's really nice to get the acknowledgement. Right, I'm just going to find the right page for the booking system. I kind of talked about it very, very briefly, but I can go into a little bit more detail for you. Okay, right, book. I'll get it up and then I'll share screen. There we go. Right, I'm going to share screen with you. Share screen. Okay, there we go. So this booking system, there are many. I'll just tell you about the one I use. The SwingFit teachers can use whichever one they want. So this one I use is called Book When. BOOKWHEN, Book When. Okay, the website is called bookwen.com. So once you add your own things, your own details, you can change your colors to suit you. So it's not necessarily pink, yeah? You can put your own picture there, whatever you want. So I've made it myself. And then it will prompt you to add your own words. So I just put these words here. I'll put book your SwingFit classes with Julie here. You know, it's a call to action, CTA, call to action. And then you say what it's about, okay? And then you can list your classes. So, for example, people can look at the classes. They can come tomorrow at 9:30 on Zoom with me, or they can come to the hall with me afterwards. Yeah. So let's say I click on this one. Let's say I want to go at 11:30. They come to my website. They come to this page. They go SwingFit with Julie, and then on the right-hand side, they get the details. It says you got 17 places left. Yeah. You can put your details here. What happens to photos and videos? Happy dancing, age range, and I put for women only. And then the instructions, because we're talking about wearing a mask as you enter and as you come out. And then the class ticket, it tells them that my class is £6. And then they click select. They can book one ticket or they can book for a friend. They can go two. Do you see that? Let's say they book one, click view selections. And then it takes you to a page to confirm. Do you really want that day? Do you really want that time? You go yes. You go, I'm not going to click book now, otherwise I'm going to pay for my own class. You click book now and it takes you to a credit card page, and it's a secure page. There's no problem with it whatsoever. My ladies have been using it for a long time. And then I'll show you what happens as me as an admin. I get the class list. So I'm going to click behind the scenes, if that makes sense. Yeah, so behind the scenes, admin side. So as the admin, I can tell how many people are coming. So they can book at the last minute, you know. So I can go to bookings and then I can put in start date. Let's say last Friday. Last Friday was the 25th. Okay, let's see how many I had in my class last Friday. The class at the hall called St. Aidan's. So I put in the class time. I search. And then this is my class list, all the people that came to my class. Yeah, they all came to my classes. And then I can go to options. I can click export attendance. So it'll just automatically give me a spreadsheet with the attendance list, so I know who's coming. And if I want to close my class, so this helps Anna as well. Let's say if you're ill, yeah, you want to cancel your class, or you want to change your class for any reason, you will have a class list. Oh, let me go back to bookings. You have a class list. Okay, you got the class list there. You got everybody's phone number. When you get a class list, you can just tell them you got a list. You can say, hey, I'm really sorry, I'm not very well today. Text them, call them. Or in advance, if I want to cancel a class, let's say I'm going on holiday. Let's say I'm going on holiday July the 7th. See this class is July 7th? Let's say I don't want to teach that day. Actually, look at this one, 9:30 Thursday. It's a little bit grey and it's 0 because I've cancelled that class already in advance. I've just cancelled it. And when you cancel it, they just can't book it. That's it. They can't book it, so they can't turn up by accident. Yeah. And if you cancel a class, they will get an automatic email saying the class is cancelled. And the booking system costs me about £10 a month. So it's like having an admin assistant. So rather than have a real life human assistant that calls everybody up, ticks everybody's booking sheet, and it's called an app. I'm sure you've heard of it nowadays. It's called an app. It's an application. It's an app. And the app is called Book When. and people book on it. And then you can get a list. So you just get an automatic list. It saves you typing a list, it saves you making up a list, and then you'll know how many's come that week or that month. If you want to, you can just look at it on your phone, or if you want to, you can print it off, take it to your class and tick people off. So currently, because of COVID, like Ruth and I are saying, we could have more people in our classes, but we're restricting it for social distancing. Hopefully, it's a temporary situation, isn't it? So, so then the ladies, when they turn up, they know they've got a place. They don't worry about it. They know they've got a place. So if anybody doesn't want to do social media, I give them some options. I say to them, see if a friend will book for you. Option number 2, they can take their chance and just rock up. And if there is a spare place, they can have it. Okay. 3rd option, tell them, I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. They can get a friend to book for them and they can pay their friend. There's so many options. So that's the easiest booking system I have found. I'll tell you a nightmare booking system if you want to know one. Everybody texting you. Oh, Paula, can you cancel my class? I'm not coming tomorrow. Oh, Anna, can you book 2 places for me? We might turn up. Right? So you don't want a nightmare. You don't want text messages, emails here, there, and everywhere. You want something that's all in one place, and the £10 a month you pay, it's much less than you pay a real life admin assistant. And then you've got all the details you need. So the book when system, you can stop and start anytime you want. If you just want to close your class, you can just stop it. And I have to say, their support staff are very good. If I email them and go, I'm stuck, I can't do such and such, they email you back within an hour even to help you. So that is fantastic. So that is the booking system. So whatever you do, decide on the booking system. Yesterday, I said to you that one of the situations I had was when I first started, people just rock up with cash. It worked for a while and it's fine. But now with COVID, we don't do that. So Paul, I hope that answers your question about a booking system. Yeah. So some of my SwingFit teachers don't want to do that, and they don't have to. They prefer people to email them. Does it link with free vouchers? Oh yes, Wendy, it does. It does. Inside it, you can create a voucher code. So, for example, I can create a voucher code. You can call it anything. Your voucher code could be sunshine. Your voucher code could be love. You just give that code to somebody and go, this is how you can do it. I'll show you briefly, actually, how to use a voucher code. So just now, I kind of pretended to do a booking. So I'll do one again. Let's say I pretend to do a booking. Okay, how do I... Oops, let me just move my mouse. Oh, there we go. Oh, I know why I got confused. I'm in the admin area, so I need to go to the public page. There's a public page. So I forget whether I was admin or whether I was a participant. So let's say I'm going to book here. I'll book 1 ticket, and there's a voucher code you can put in. Do you see it says enter discount code? Yeah, I created a number of them. One of them is called thanks. See, I wanted to thank somebody for something. I said, here's a gift to say thank you. So your code is thanks. And you can just put it in there. And then when they click apply, the £6 will become 0. How good is that? You don't need a paper voucher. Yeah, you give them a secret code. Right? The Bookwen website will have video tutorials to guide you through it. So be patient and do the video tutorials. It's very simple. But if you get stuck, their support staff are really good. So I hope that answers your question about that side of it. So we're about to have a lunch break. After this, I'm going to have Angeline come in, one person to come in, and I'll again answer a few more questions. And definitely by our final session together, here's my promise, I'm going to answer every single question. I will take you through the marketing one, takes a little bit longer. I'll actually show you how to do the design. Just give you a quick whiz about how to do your design. So start thinking about what colors you might like, and I'll do a color for you. So I might design your flyer for you, Anna, during the session itself. Would that be fun? Yeah. So think about a name for your class, even if it's like a fictional name for now, a hypothetical name, we'll do it live. And I'll answer your question about what happened to me when no one turned up. What did I do? What did I do to change that situation from no one turning up to having 50 to 60 consistently in the class? And I also had numbers dwindle. Depends on what you think by dwindle. We sometimes think that when numbers go down, they'll keep going down. It doesn't. We also think that when numbers go up, it's going to keep going up forever. No, it doesn't. It will always be an up and down. Okay, so let me draw a pretend graph. It'll be up, it'll be down, it'll be up, it'll be down. If the general trend is up, it's good, isn't it? If the general trend is up, what happens is, okay, I'll do it again, up and down, up and down. Let's say during one of the downs, we feel bad. That's no good, is it? We forget that that little down is still higher than the part that was early in your journey. Okay, but if you have a plan, if you have support mechanisms in place, numbers shouldn't dwindle. They dwindle when we don't have the skills or the knowledge. We're just like guessing. You don't want to do guesswork. You want to have plan. You want to have a plan. You want to have skills. You want to have support. Don't be guessing. You can guess, but your numbers will dwindle. If you don't mind your numbers dwindling, then then there's no law against having a class with small numbers. Yeah. I'll tell you another story. So my class had 50 ladies and it kept increasing. And I asked them, where did you hear about my class? And they said, we came from this other class. So I said, what happened to the other class? And they go, she's only got 3 people left. So for 5 seconds, I felt a bit guilty. And I thought, no, I didn't poach anybody. So I said, why aren't you going to that class? They said, well, we are still going because we feel guilty. We feel bad for her, so we keep going. So I then did my own research, bit of listening. I go, tell me about that class. So this other person had one style one week, then another style another week. Do you see what I'm doing there? There's no clear message. It could be for men, it could be for women. It's a bit of tango move here, a bit of salsa move. So a bit of mix and match. She's doing it out of passion, but no system. And because her numbers started dwindling, she started coming to class late herself. So that's another procedure. I would say the teacher has to be early. Would you agree with me? The teacher should come to class early and be the one that leaves late. So there were little things she did that really mattered. So her class started dwindling and she was quite happy just running a class for 5 people. But the ladies started coming more and more to me because although they wanted to dance, they couldn't put up with a class that had no structure. Yeah. So you wouldn't have dwindling numbers. I will also, in the next 2 sessions, address complainers and people with expertise. And I will help you to create more marketing. So over lunch, if you want to, you can prepare your specific marketing questions for me. How do you create specific questions? It's one of the techniques that I teach my teachers. Start your questions with open questions. How? Okay. When? Who? Where? What? Why? There should be one more. How? What? When? Who? Why? I can't think of another one. It'll come to me. Yep. So how do I create free vouchers? Where can I find a cheap printing supplier? Okay, what do I do about X? So create some open questions for me in the next session, because the more you're able to ask good questions, then you'll get quality answers. Right, we must stop so that we can have lunch. And we'll not do any dancing after lunch because Angeline's coming in. I hope to squeeze in a bit of dancing before we depart from each other today. Yeah. I hope all this talking is helpful for you. Yeah, to help you get your head around things. Because if you want to do some dancing, I've got lots of videos I can send you. You can dance along to the virtual me. She's very patient. You can rewind her anytime. Right, let's go for lunch. See you back here at 10 minutes to 1. Okay, bye for now.